that I've lived with. It is easy to live your life. And at the end of it, the question you have to ask yourself is, what have I achieved? If you look at your own life now, think about it. The hatred, the bitterness, the anger, the unforgiveness, the fighting for land and a house and money and everything else. If we all will go and leave it. So stop crying your neighbor for boundary man. You know, I remember growing up and you have this situation where they say, you know, your neighbor used to move to boundary man. And then they quarrel and they fight, and at the end when the funeral, everybody get together and go to the funeral, but the land is still there. So do good. Live happy with your neighbor, with your friends, with your co-workers. Sometimes it's difficult and it's hard to take some of the things they do, but love them. It's far better to love than to hate. It is more revealing to care than not to care. And like Mr. Pancho always said, do the best you can with the little you have. I wish you God's blessing on behalf of the Grenada Baptist Association. We know the pain that the family, we understand the pain the family is going through. Our sympathies go to you, and we are proud and happy for a man who has given so much to this community, to this church, and to the Grenada Baptist Association. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Simon. Now calling Pastor Ashley Church to give his tribute.
Pleasant good evening to each one of us. We have some important people in this crowd, this congregation this evening, and we just want to recognize the Honorable Mrs. Deborah Thomas. God bless you. And we have some ministers of the different religions of the Grenada Baptist. So I just want to welcome Father, who is the father, the priest of the Brush Grove Catholic Church. So you see, we are blessed, and Pastor Mr. Pancho is well blessed this evening. We have other ministers of government from the various denominations, and we want to welcome each one of you. But moreover, we want to welcome each of you who have come to show sympathy and love to the family that, you know, we mourn the loss of a wonderful brother. For me, Mr. Pancho was a wonderful man. I've not only heard that this afternoon, but I lived with him for 31 years. And most importantly, he had given his life to Jesus Christ. That's what matters. That's the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why I came. And thank God for him. And his family can rejoice this evening because I was the one that baptized him. We were all part of encouragement so that he would come to know Jesus Christ. And I want to say to us this evening, time is fleeting by. Life becomes problematic. It's difficult. And the best thing could happen to us as a people is to accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Pastor Ashley Church. At this time, I call Pastor Clarence Henry to give his tribute.
Good afternoon to everyone. We're here to celebrate the life of Mr. Pancho. I'm also a Grenada Baptist, and I've been around the area for many years. We all are here, and there is an appointment that we all waiting for. None of us know when, but we know that after that, there will be judgment. So we all need to know Mr. Pancho already made peace with that. You know, I sat there and looked on. There's a word that just struck to me was legacy. Yes, Mr. Pancho had not really surrendered his life to the Lord as early as many of us here. But when you listen to the tributes of his children, the tributes of his grandchildren, and what his great-grands were able to do, and the words of expression, it is telling me, and I'm sure that it's telling many others, that he has laid a foundation for the betterment of the community, for the betterment of the country. Because of course, they did not see him much coming to church in his early years and acclaiming a lot of things. But what he left for them is more valuable than lands and cars and a lot of things. Because in my few years of life, I've seen many families who had much to share with their children. And eventually, when they would have passed on, as I mentioned, that the wars and conflicts that were there, but what he left for them was not things to handle, not cars to bounce and end up in ditches and so, not money extra to go in the shops and the drug corners, but he left something with them within. And that's what he left with them within, is that they would pass it on to their children and so forth. So those of us who are fathers and grandfathers and such like, it would be a good thing for us to really think back as to what am I contributing to my child or grandchild, as the case may be, because when we do, is that we are advancing the progress of our country in the process. I thank God for him. I was able to worship him here at Grand Bacolet not too long ago. And of course, I've known his children much longer than I do really got to know him. And from what is being said and what I've heard when I was in a prayer meeting, I can really vouch and say that what they're saying and how things are, they're sufficient. That young fathers, because let me say one, his grandson said, that's how his granddad was teaching him about Nancy stories and different things. He is now passing it on to his own child. And these are the things that we think about and the legacies. Yes, there is a combination between the spiritual and the natural. And he has demonstrated both in a particular way. And I thank God for his life. Thank God for all the lives that he has touched. And God, I pray that he soul rest in peace in his head. Through Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Pastor Henry. We have one more pastor, but he will be bringing a message. At this time, we have another of Mr. Pancho's favorite song, and it will be sung by the worship team. somewhere around God's throne. It's one thing we as Christians have to look forward to. No more pain, no more sorrow. Hallelujah. At this time, I invite Reverend Bonnie James, who will come to bring us the word this evening. Reverend Bonnie James.
Bless the Lord, good afternoon to everybody. And it's a wonderful honor to be here to support the family of Brother Pancho. I'm ready to be with you at this time. The lot fall on me, and it is something I wish I could have passed. But when your pastor asked me to share with you, I made some little excuses, but initially God turned some things around so that I can be here with you. But let me say that in the midst of all our mourning and grief, that God sees, that God knows, God understands. And so I greet you in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to again recognize our minister from government here. And I really want to recognize as a Christian today, Honorable Delma Thomas. I want to recognize